Hey, it's old Gaming Guru. I'm here with the find of the week, Into the Breach, which is made by, I think it's the same folks that do FTL and a couple of others, Dungeons of the Infinite. I think it's the same group. Anyways, I saw this. I had a wish list for a while. It was on sale for 14 bucks and I went nuts and bought it. So it's more than my usual find of the week, but hey, check this out. So anyways, I'm a little bit into the game, not very far, and I'm not very good at it, but it is a turn-based strategy game where you get only 3 units and maps go by very quickly. So it's a strategy game where you're trying to improve your 3 units and you're facing an onslaught of insectoids. So let's jump right in. Let's continue where I left off. And this is the way it goes. Here are your 3, that's it, 3 units. Okay, which you can upgrade, which helps a ton. So make sure that you are getting as much reputation as possible. You can see how much reputation you get from each zone by the number of stars on it. When you run out of power, you die. You can also refresh your power by buying them with stars, or you can actually conquer a place that gives you an energy, but you really want those stars. Alright, so that being said, here are your 3 units, and it consists of pretty much melee, range knockback, and artillery can fire over things, okay? And so if you double click on an web unit, you get what it does. And you can see I've got a couple upgrades here. I've got some health because of my leader, and I've got some move speed, and my weapon still sucks, but hey, that's pretty good. I got additional HP, and this comes through basically you level up, but you very quickly get to max level. So not to go into all the mechanics of the game, I just want to introduce you to it, but as you can see here, there's a little bit of skilling up, and it makes a world of difference on how well you fight the alien invaders. Okay, so you see this one's also got a leader. If a leader dies, it will be taken over by an AI bot until you find another leader. And we get some upgrades once again, and this is my artillery. So you definitely want to have leaders, because leaders will bring a lot of utility to the mech. So you're the mechs you're fighting here. So this leader brings in plus 2 HP. This leader brings in plus 3 grid defense, which I highly recommend you work on. That's what protects your power grid from the attacking aliens. Alright, so we see here I jumped in. I've already completed these 3 sectors. The ones in red are the ones that are contested. And these will probably lock down. But anyways, I'm going to jump right into a grid. Okay, freeze and defend both robots. Okay, I suck at this one. So it's kind of like an advanced version of rock, paper, scissors. And your goal is to keep the aliens from attacking these houses and beat and get your bonus objectives done. Alright, so right here, and I gotta freeze both of those robots. Not quite sure how to do that. And then I'm gonna place my artillery and confirm. Okay, so this guy right here has a thing when he lands, he actually does damage to nearby enemies. This pod here, you always want to try to capture those. Always. Alright, so as you can see here, we got a thin layer of ice. Water, if you go into, will disable your attack, and the pod here will give you items to upgrade your units, and these are emerging monsters, and these are your civilians. When a civilian unit dies, you lose a power grid, you lose all your power grid, it's game over. Alright, I think that's pretty simple. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is use this NPC cannon to freeze that tank. Okay, so we stopped that tank from attacking me. This one, okay, so plan your movement very carefully. Okay, I've got to freeze this guy. I don't want to kill him. I got to stay on the ice. Okay, I'm going to click, and you see when he shot, he bounced back, he bounced into my guy killed him. Alright, but I also lost some health. Alrighty. so we don't want to kill that robot. We want to freeze it. We're going to move this guy here to block this guy from coming up. And I'll take damage again, but I will also stop that enemy unit from coming up. Alright, so right now I do not have any more moves. So remember, move first, fire second. So make sure you got your move out of the way before you fire if you can, because if you don't, once you fire, you cannot move. Alright, at least as far as I've seen. I'm going to end my turn, and you can see the 4 whopping turns this battle is. Okay, I blocked there. The robot moves. He moves. Okay, we got guys coming out of the ground again. Okay, so we see that this bug here is attacking this house. Alright, we see that this tank is attacking that house. So I'm going to go freeze him, which means I got my objective done. I'm going to move this guy here, knock him that way, kills him. I got a lot of health on this guy, so I'm going to use him to block some of this stuff and to soak up some damage. But he's got nothing to shoot at. I'm going to get him out of that fire. You do take 1 damage per turn when you're in fire. You can also repair your units, but it costs all your movement and ability to fire. Okay, so I'm going to end my turn. And up come the insects. I got 3 turns left. I gotta go. Okay, so he's going to attack this guy, and he paralyzed him, which sucks. And he is going to attack that tank. I'm gonna freeze this guy. Yep. Okay. This guy can't take all that damage, but he's frozen. This guy's attacking him, so we're going to block there. We'll shoot him there. Okay, there's ice there. Then we're going to knock these 2 together, and that'll kill one and almost kill the other. And there you have it. Okay, so that ends this turn. We got 1 more turn to survive. It looks like I've met all my goals. And this actually buffs and heals enemy units, so do try to get rid of it as quickly as possible. Alright. Okay, we don't need to do anything there. End turn. And since it's 1 left, these guys should run away. Perfect victory. Alright, there you go. Alright, so now, if the aliens didn't pick up the pod, I should get the pod. And you can see he's maxed out. He's picked up some XP points. He's picked up some, and then I open my pod, and what do I get? I get an additional... Now that's a pretty powerful one right there. Move again after shooting. Okay? And then reactor core is what you use to upgrade. I mean, so that's it in a nutshell. You can see I got 2 stars and 1 bonus, whatever that is. Oh, reactor core from that. Alright, so once you have a reactor core, you go to one of your units. You install the reactor core, and then you assign it the number of reactor cores you need to activate something. There you have it. So I'm going to take that additional move. Done. Alright, I've got a new pilot. I like that grid defense. I'm not sure if I'm going to want to do that. And he's pretty solid right now. I got nothing more to install. I do want to pick up his additional health. Alright, so then I would go on to the next one. Eventually, after you take enough places back, you're going to have to fight the boss, and he will be at the corporate headquarters. And so there's nothing spectacularly fancy about the boss. It just has a lot more health points, does a lot more damage. So you got to really focus on burning it down quick. Pretty easy stuff. But you can see this is just a fast, fun, furious game. It's a lot of fun, a lot of thinking involved here, so don't expect to run on brain dead on this one. It's just a fun, kind of goofy game, and it's not going to break the world or break the internet. It's just a good, solid, well thought out strategy game that you can play in minutes. And if you have a tight schedule like me, it's wonderful for that. This has been Into the Breach, an excellent game. If you see it on sale, go pick it up. For this day, Old Gaming Guru out. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you like this video. I'll do more new game content. I'm at a point right now where work is pretty heavy and hot, so I get an hour or two a day max, and maybe a couple hours on the weekend to play while the wife is working or asleep. So if you're like me, this is a great kind of just beer and popcorn kind of game. So enjoy. Have a good one.